Hey everybody, Fab4 here with another episode of Can I Fix It, where I take the games that you just couldn't quite close out and I see if I can find that right play to help you get the victory. Today I got another game with myself versus Techno Machine, and this one's probably one of the closest ones that I just missed out on, and you'll see that when we get to the point. Starting out here, I guess I pick up the Aerial Specialist. This is also an expired gameplay, so there might be some weird stuff later on, but well, we'll deal with that when we get there. My opponent here has picked up the Rhino Specialist. And for our starting units, I had Steel Balls with Arc Lights. And the opponent here is doing Storm Callers with Crawlers. So both the Allers. Uh, Usually when I'm picking up these Storm Callers and... Sorry, I'm getting all those mixed up here now. The Steel Balls and Crawlers, I try to do aggro. And depending on what the opponent has for their unit types, I'll position the Steel Balls, either in front or behind the Crawlers. And that'll all kind of vary, if they have arc lights, you want the steel balls in the front. That way they get targeted by the arc lights and the crawlers can kind of just go in and sweep up. This one here, I don't think there was too much here. It's still probably better to have the crawlers in the front. And then the arc lights, obviously, they're just really nice to have with the steel balls to just clear up the chaff. That way they can rush in. I left one arc light over here just to kind of clear up anything that he sent over here. The steam storm callers, they're more than likely going to be going like standard. And we saw that he did. He also set them up vertical to deal with the steel balls, just in case they get up there. They got to all target the same one at one time. That way it slows them down and they don't take the towers fast. So it looks like it's not really going to change anything. He does take this tower first, which in a way that's helpful for me. But it allows me to maybe take this tower a little bit faster and then be able to move to the other one. Or hopefully maybe add over to the units while they're slowed down. But I end up aggroing to the other tower anyways and not going for his units. And as soon as these Stormcallers are gone, this Arc Light is going to be the one that's going to clean these up. The other two units can, but it should be enough. All right, on to the second round here. We get a unit drop already. Looking at here, a marksman, triple marksman as well, which can be kind of nice. But I mean, if I'm looking at his board, the first unit he unlocked was Fangs. So more than likely, I'm not feeling like a marksman. It could be helpful for taking out the Stormcallers or even some stuff later on. Typhoon as well for chaff clear. It could be even better chaff clear than Stormcallers. So if I'm trying to go aggro, unless I'm trying to think about pushing boats, but I'm not sure if that was in my head game at this point. It might have been better in the long run. I think I end up actually picking up the Wraith, and we'll see that here. Tarantula is probably actually the weakest out of most of these. Mostly because the Stormcallers can do a lot of damage to them, but they might technically be safe if I placed it like right behind here. That way it could kind of like do its work. The other issue is that its range is so short. It's not really that effective. And then, of course, actually we both pick up the Wraith. Nice thing about the Wraith, too, is that it's really decent chaff clear. For an air unit. And, it can deal with some other heavy units, too. The Marksman would be able to take care of it, which, probably is a smart pickup there, then instead picking up 3 of them. We see he actually sells out of the Stormcallers, and he picks up a Hacker as well. And I also set up a arc flank here, mostly because he has crawlers right behind the tower. So that means that as soon as this thing comes in, that's one wave of chaff that just gets pulled over, and the arc light can take care of him no problem. He'll probably respond within the next round, though. I go ahead and grab myself, I think, like arc light, and then I got these extra crawlers over here. And I was thinking about pushing up and over, and I changed my mind. Of course, I didn't know that he sold all this, so I was like, all right, I'll just kind of use these as distractions. Well, they're gone now. So it doesn't really matter. They'll still kind of distract these ones and pull them away, which is all right. Now we actually see here, his Wraith only has one of the guns focused on me while I'm doing all 4. So I'm probably going to win that race there. He also doesn't have a ton of units to defend his Hacker. So it spends his time trying to pull and take over the chaff while the steel balls can kind of just rush in. And from here, it's pretty much just cleanup. Arclight has these fangs over here, and the steel balls will take care of the Stormcallers. Okay, on to the third round. We get just we already got the unit drop, so we'll expect just cards here for the next few rounds. Starting off here, I got to be worried about the sticky oil bomb already, just because I'm playing aggro. So he can just place it right here. It slows my unit down. Makes it really good for the hacker too. So we can kind of steal something. I have to stop, point at the unit, kill that unit, and then it'll start taking something else. Especially if he starts getting range, it'll start instantly targeting these crawlers. Heavy armor is pretty good. Again, nothing really to put it on right now. Maybe making the steel balls tankier is pretty cool, or maybe even making the wraith. But then there's also the portable shield, which is, in a way, is technically 20% better than the heavy armor, just because it's literally the health of the unit put on top of itself. So yeah, actually, okay, you can see there, I said photon emission for a second, so that's not right. But yeah, I pick up the portable shield, place it on the wraith. And we can see that, yeah, he sets up the oil bomb right here and picks up sledgehammers. And more than likely, I'm probably going to see him be placing them vertical right here. Yep, vertical. And then the other one here is vertical as well. I haven't seen it yet. I go ahead and grab myself one of each unit type, because I'm kind of looking to maybe start stretching out a little bit, because right now my strategy is working still. At this point, it probably would have been better to start switching over to something else. Like, I would even say Phoenix, maybe? Or some kind of, unit that can hit something in the air or right there on the ground really hard. The missile actually goes in and takes out the hacker, no problem, which is probably something I should have noticed, but we'll see here. That doesn't really matter too much. I actually decided to set up a flank over here with the steel balls and crawlers. And we can see here again that the Wraith has all of its guns locked onto his Wraith, while it's using like 3 of his to work on my units on the ground. I also did keep using the crawlers to go across the battlefield. That way, it kind of distracts everything over here and pulls it off to the side so I can kind of rush in. And it also pulls his units over here so that they don't just go straight for the tower. We can see I'm doing good work against him so far. He's down to half, round 4. I mean, it's looking up for me. Onto this card drop here. I'm just grabbing the improved firepower, but what else do we got on us here? Advanced targeting system, getting extra range. Probably not bad for me to possibly pick up. If I'm looking at improved firepower, what am I really grabbing for this? I could pick up another Wraith and put it on that. Just makes it stronger. But it'd be probably better on something else. Efficient tech can be nice if we're kind of trying to tech into more stuff, but playing aggro, you're not really doing a lot of tech upgrades unless you really need it, like especially with steel balls. Usually, if anything, you're probably picking up range first if you really need to like target something big. Like say if he puts a big unit here, or he puts like a big unit with chaff. Arc light, if I had it a little bit closer, it could deal with the chaff, and then these could start locking on to the large unit from back behind. At least a lot faster, and that makes them a lot stronger. But again, you're wasting supplies on a tech when you could just be getting more units. And then, of course, extended range arc light. We're looking at the tower here. None of us have picked upgrades yet, and these are actually getting ranks. So that actually could have been, honestly, not a bad pickup for me. Yeah, in hindsight, that probably would have been better, just so I could have just started shooting the chaff way earlier. And then plus, if they're ranking up right now, it's a little late, round 4. They could have been doing a lot better. Because I think the Wraith is doing some work, and it's a little split up between a couple of them. But then it'd also make these ones be able to take targets faster. And same with this one over here. It'd be able to start hitting these guys sooner. So, but improved firepower is still always a good pickup. Either one, I think, would have been really nice for me. The opponent here also gets improved firepower. He also does grab he gets his Rhino now, since he is the Rhino specialist. I guess the only other reason, too, is I'm aerial specialist, which makes mine stronger. Well, we'll see here in these rounds coming up what's going on. He also sets up a anti-missile device, since I missiled his chaff right in the front. So he set that up again just so I wouldn't have that happen, because he saw that it took out the hacker instantly. So setting that up is a smart decision. Also grabs the replicate for his crawlers, which is a really good idea. The only problem is he probably should be picking up the attack enhancement at this point then as well. Because that means as we kind of do these, like, as these crawlers will take out mine that much faster, even with the extra attack of just 10% or 12%, it'll be able to do work. We actually see he picks up Phoenixes as well to deal with my Wraith. He actually missiles out on my side over here. But my new Wraith over here that I set up, it just came in, took out his chaff, and now it's just going straight for the tower. It seems we kind of did a little bit of switcheroo right now. His Wraith is doing more damage to my stuff down here, and I'm not really able to target that, but I have the portable shield, which just gives it that much more life. So it's able to tank shots a lot longer than he is. I also get the tower, which means that the damage he's taking now is just way less. The Rhino comes in, but it's not going to be able to stand a chance against the steel balls. The Hacker, though, is becoming a problem. That's taking all the steel balls. And now the Phoenixes are actually able to take out mine, but I do take the tower, which if my Wraith is able to lock on to the Phoenixes, it might be pretty good, which it takes... Yep, there's one of them, and I don't think this one has enough DPS to finish me off. Again, another win. It's not as much this time. Definitely starting to slow down on my tempo. On to the next round, we get another card drop. Now, I believe my choice here, I go with Underground Threat. I think my main thought here is because of this Hacker. I am trying to do something to distract it, because I just need it to not take my heavy units, which I really only have the arc lights and steel balls, but I mean, if he starts taking them, that's a lot of my heavy unit damage, which he only has the Rhino, or if these get into the tower. Because right now, these only other units are flying. So they'll ignore those while they go straight for the tower, and if they take that, then the Wraith can go in and finish off the air units. And especially having that shield just makes it that much stronger. Getting another mobile beacon is actually not too bad, too. You're getting it for half the price. Photon coating, I don't see it very often picked up, I should say. It's probably better off, like, in very vague situations. Like, if you're seeing possible EMP, which he does run it on his Phoenix, but again, like, right now, what tech do I have? Even up, I have range on Wraith. I mean, they're already close enough. Even with the range boost of 40, it's 95. They kind of just go in a little bit closer. So it's not really worth it too much. And Rhino Assault's also pretty nice too. Especially with all the chaff around, even if it doesn't have the whirlwind, it can still just kind of come in and just start over here. Because you can actually see the circle right here. That's where you can't place the Rhino. You could drop it in right on top of these crawlers, like right on the edge here. It'll take out the crawlers and then just start walking. It'll also distract his center units. It also seems like the last round when he picked these up, he didn't move them. The Sledgehammers and the Fangs are pretty much in starting position. The Rhino came down in starting position and just kind of stood there. Didn't really do anything with it. So that's a little bit odd. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to this card pickup. I'll speed it up here. Oh, we're actually already there. So we can see Underground Threat. My opponent actually skipped on this round, I believe. He now actually purchases oil. Because he noticed that having my units slower was really good. The placement on this Underground Threat was probably not the best. Right now, if anything, it should have been completely opposite corner. Up here, so that they kind of rush in. Because what happens here is that these guys are already coming up to the arc light. So if I just have the Underground Threat, arc light will kind of get close enough. And then start taking out the crawlers. And once that happens, the crawlers move in. It is level 2, but there's a decent amount of crawlers that come out from this. So it's not too much to worry about. I end up picking more crawlers up because I'm just looking to defend my units from a Hacker right now. As our opponent picks up a melting point now to deal with the Wraiths that I have. So right now I technically have them in the palm of my hand. At least with unit decision, I should say. Because he has to pick up something to deal with my units. Well, I can kind of just keep doing more stuff or buy more units and something like that. But we can see that the melting point there, I think the crawlers then probably weren't the best decision. I should have maybe, like, picked up another air unit. Like, getting a Phoenix or Honestly, if we're looking at this, a wasp would not be too bad, or even a boat. No, a boat actually would be taken out with melting point. I'd have to pick up something better than that. But again, this was before I saw the melting points. Like, I could even pick up my own phoenixes, which probably would not be too bad, because Phoenix versus Phoenix is at least a fair enough matchup. Plus, I'm getting the extra attack and health to make them, just a little bit stronger. And now he's getting down to 866. And okay, we get another unit drop. Now, if you kind of want to take a guess at this one here, I feel like it's pretty obvious what the opponent's choice is going to be. I'll kind of give it a second here, let you think about it. Just looking at the choice: Farseer, Triple Marksman, rank 3, Fortress. Hey, Fortress is pretty cool, rank 2, Vulcan. But it's a little extra hint here. Like, I just want you to look at, like, which is actually bad positioning on my end. Look at the whole front of my board, especially my last pickup, and what's just sitting here right in front. So yeah, I got bear liked pretty hard right here. Just, he gets a Vulcan for 100, so he's pretty much getting it for how much cheaper here? 200 to unlock, and then 400 to purchase. So he's getting it for 500 less, and it's a rank 2. So you're getting even more discount on there. You're pretty much, what was that? 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. So you're getting a 700 discount on a rank 2 Vulcan that is now literally going to take care of literally more than half my board. Because, yeah, arc lights, but I mean, arc lights are also pretty weak. I've not done any rank ups on my units at all, so they can be taken out by the Vulcans. So yeah, this Vulcan's going to be very good against me, whereas I think we're going to see another bad decision here on my point. On my side, I should say. It'll go here. It's taking a while here. Speed it up a little bit. Yeah, we can see. So I grab the Fortress, and I sell the Fortress. Because I'm looking for the cash, I guess. And I start doing some rank ups. Getting range on the steel balls. So the steel balls are actually, in a way, a counter to the melting points. He actually does not have multi-melter. If he had multi-melter, this might be more of a threat to the steel balls. Just because it could target all of them at one time. Whereas now it has to focus on one, while the other 3 lock on, start building up their damage. Even if he takes out another one, there's still 2 of them doing, like, possible max damage. It'll be gone in no time. I go ahead and pick up some more chaff, which, in the same time, was probably bad on my part, seeing as there was a Vulcan available. I should have been... Honestly, picking up and keeping the Fortress was probably a better idea. Even with the melting points, which, of course, yeah, I know, melting point, it can take out the Fortress, but if I start grabbing the techs on these, like range, and even the barrier, if I can clear out the chaff fast enough, then I'm able to just get the one shot or a couple shots on the melting points, and it'll take it out. Which, actually, he didn't take it. I thought he was going to pick up the Vulcan. I guess I was wrong there. This could also be glitched out and where he was supposed to pick it up and he didn't. Or he sold it. Yeah, something, I'm not gonna lie, something seems a little off here. Last time I checked this out, this did not have this problem. We're gonna see now that I just take him out. So, I'm actually gonna pause it here. That was not supposed to happen. Now, obviously, this is a old replay, so it's expired, especially after the new update. So, we're gonna go to round 7. And yeah, here we go. We're just going to skip ahead here. We can see now that I got him down to 101 last round. I still did win, but it was definitely not a victory. Now, we can see that he actually did pick up the Vulcans, but it was a rank 2, which I thought it was... Yeah, something seems a little bit bugged about this replay, of course, since it's expired, so we'll have to just work with it and just kind of go with the flow. I pick up a orbital javelin this time. Opponent actually picks up a. He actually just gets his cooldown off of the sticky oil bomb. And we're gonna see this round. I make a pretty big blunder actually, and I decide to pick up triple wraiths because they seem to be working well for me. So I was like, why not get the tech on him? Kind of line him up over here, start to push this other side. And I probably should have picked up something else instead of these wraiths. Because now we can see he can just start lining up Vulcans across the whole front, and all my chaff is lined up here. Which, in reality, it shouldn't be like this. Even playing aggro, you should still stagger it out all the way in the back. I think for some reason in my mind I was scared of Hacker, but I pretty much already beat out the Hacker, and I should have been like, okay, let's start layering the chaff so that it kind of comes in waves and pick up some other unit to deal with his larger units instead of just trying to be like chaff, chaff, chaff. The chaff is not the ultimate answer for everything. We'll get a little bit of a better view here. I mean, so we take out the Vulcan. That's good. Problem is now I got just 2 large units. They're not going to be able to take out the Wraith. And then the oil over here burns up all of my chaff along with just the Vulcans. And then he can just melting point my air out of the sky. And we can see now that this is pretty much where I am starting to struggle. Last round here. I'll still show the cards. Oh. I get a portable shield because I figured, hey, make one of mine just a little bit stronger. There's also an incendiary bomb, which is also really good for him, just because he doesn't have the oil now anymore, but he could just layer another one right here. I will say the last round for his pickup, he had the chance to pick up a incendiary bomb as well. So we could have had incendiary bomb followed by another one. Though the last round he skipped or picked up something else instead, which I thought was a very strange pickup because he could have literally had last round incinerary. Well, he had oil here too, so he could have done like incinerary here and then burned all the chaff, and then this round picked up another one and just go boom. But we're actually going to see he skips on it or picks up something else. He seems to be doing a lot of thinking this game compared to me. Okay, so he gets the portable shield. And then, I mean, easy answer for him right here is just finish off his Vulcan lineup. And then his melting points will just kind of do the work. Like, just grab another melting point. It'll help take out the Wraiths faster. And I think we are on round 8, so it is the last one. The health pool might also be a little bit messed up as well compared to what they are now. And yeah, I know you're looking, it's like, there's no way you lost this one. No, I didn't. It was, he turned it around, and I just kind of got wrecked. And we can see now that, oh, maybe I should pick up the Phoenix because I'm aerial. Get some range on him. Might be able to take out some things. Yeah, it's a little bit too late for that now. It's not really going to make a difference. I tried to rush him into the tower, but yeah, we can see it's also just glitched out. Well, not glitched out. It's an old expired replay, so I end up surrendering the round because I see it's like, as soon as it starts, all my chaff is gone. It's even, this is actually varying per replay as well. So this is also good news for information for anyone trying to look at old replays that are expired. A lot of stuff can change per view. Because this last round, when I went to go check this out, okay, you can actually see it right here. You see this little flame floating? There should be a Vulcan here. There's not. So he placed another Vulcan here, and it just burns out these ones. This one burns out this chaff. And then at this point, he just focuses. Oh, no, here it is. You guys see it? Yeah, here we go. Now, if you're ever wondering, this is a new unit type. I'm trying to think of how can we combine this. We got the Vulcan and a melting point. It's a melting Vulcan. So as you can see, it pretty much just destroys everything in its path. We'll have to ignore that. But again, he pretty much just wipes out all my units. I have so much chaff, he burns it out, and then his melting points just take the air. So why don't we just go back to the round? No, not this one here. I got to get the right one. We're going to go to the round here where I picked up the So this is the round here. I picked up 3 more wraiths, and probably was not the right idea. And again, all I need is just one small victory. He's down to 101. So I'm air, and looking at what his board is, like, this is where you got to start paying attention to what is he weak to. And if I'm aerial specialist, I can unlock something for free. Now I'm a speed specialist. He's cost control. Man, these things are really messed up. So now I don't even know what to believe anymore. It's all right. We're going to just take control of me anyways. And, okay, so what am I looking at here? Orbital's pretty good for taking out the stuff over here, which is probably just the right choice. So we're going to pick up that. And what do I want to take out? Like, some part of me is thinking... Like, if anything, I'd rather do, like, these 2 units. Kind of set it up right here. Take out the Vulcan and the crawlers, and then the melting points can kind of... Or, sorry, the steel balls can go in. It also gets rid of the shield. But let's go ahead. Like, looking at this left side, he's definitely vulnerable to, like, Wasp. We got to think, like, he has very high single damage. We want to do a lot of smaller things. So the Wasps are going to be, like, the key. I mean, all those just... Get elite recruit. And picking up extra ground. And we got to think, we just got to win him out. He's at 100. So we just need to get that 1 win in. And that's all. So we can go ahead and missile out these guys. Missile out these tanks. And then just mobile beacon up to here. And then just go across. Don't want to sell anything. Not really. Just kind of keep the money up. And I think we'll run it from here. We're going to see how much better this worked out for me. He placed a crawler here, so that kind of stopped the missile. Now we're looking here like the Wraith is like, oh, it's going to focus. Sorry, the melting point. Focuses 1, focuses 1, focuses 1. But again, all I need is this one small win. And at this point, what does he have to deal with any of my air units? This. He has a melting point. And then, I mean, it's pretty obvious here. There's no way he's going to come back from this. And then, boom, that would be it. Pretty much 10 times the amount of damage we needed to beat him. Because he was at 101. And this seems to be a pretty common occurrence, too, that I've seen. That sometimes Wasps, you don't even need 3 of them. I just had the money. I just wanted to make sure that they got through. And to just have enough of them just kind of ping off, like, the damage. Like, if that missile, obviously the 2 missiles didn't do anything because of the crawlers right here. But, like, if not, it would have hit the fangs right here. It would have hit the sledgehammers. And they would have just walked right in, taken the tower, cleaned up over here, started walking. Maybe not cleaning up over here as much. But even this melting point got distracted for a while, trying to take care of the wasp, while the Wraith over here kind of like, well, worked on here, started working on the Vulcan a little bit. And then as soon as they took that tower, they go over. His units kind of marched up because obviously they took out the chaff. And they're probably going to take out the rest of my units as well, or take them with the hacker. But then what can he do against the air unit? There is the Fang, but Wraith counters Fang. There is the melting point, but we got to remember what we did is and I know a lot of you are thinking like, oh, you should have missiled this one here. That was my original intention, and I believe I tried to do that and put a orbital here. And I set it up to where, oh, as it walks forward, it'll get hit by the orbital. But he saw the drop and actually used a mobile beacon to try and move these 2 units backwards out of it. Because obviously he knows that, oh, I got to place it a little bit ahead. Even with the melting point, it's a little slow, but all you got to do is just put it right in front and it'll kind of just walk in, boom, it's gone. But he knew that was an option, so he's like, okay, I'll just pull it back instead. So unless I was like planning on him being like, okay, he knows there's an orbital, I should put it behind it because he's going to walk into it. Or like, you could even technically do something, but if anything, you'd probably want to just put it right on its center. You know, if this is the one you want to take care of. But I also had the goal of taking out a hacker as well. So I was trying to do both of them at the same time. I think I placed it, a little bit on the edge, and then yeah, the melting point just walked forward. And my original plan ended up being the hacker got taken out. Whereas if I'm looking at it now, it's like, is this melting point really a huge threat when if my other plan is to do this, just go take the tower or put in a bunch of smaller units, I'd rather take out this side here so that my flank can do a little bit better, which isn't that much because we already know the front. I can take out this one, which will probably help out here. Like we could probably go back here and check it out again, but I could even take out this Vulcan here because its range is low enough that it probably wouldn't even be able to burn out this. But again, he also had oil. And if he just set it up just right, like even right here across the whole front, this one would hit the oil, burns across, everything burns away, so it doesn't really matter. And I saw that he had oil available this round, so I'm like, okay, this whole front line's just done. There's nothing happening here. So this side's more important than the front. And then obviously this side's weaker and making the wasps to just march in, take it, tower, move to the other tower and start working from there. And that right there was my big blunder, picking up 3 wraiths instead of just going the good old wasps. Now, obviously, this replay is all messed up just because it's expired, but I still think it's something that we can learn from, and I hope that you guys also learn as well. So if you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. If you'd like to come and see some live Mechabellum gameplay, I stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/fab4200. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you all on the next episode of Can I Fix It?